What's up, traders? Zach here from the Trading Network. I hope you all are doing well. I have a very exciting video for you all today, as I'm going to be doing another playbook breakdown using TradeZella's journaling software, showing you guys how I was able to lock in a little over $3,200 in a matter of 5 or 6 minutes trading NQ futures this past Friday. Now, for those not familiar, TradeZella is an amazing journaling platform that offers an immense amount of features. My favorite feature is the Playbook feature, which allows you to quickly and easily quantify all of your high probability setups into clear technical checkboxes. It is such a great way to quickly and clearly quantify your trade setups in a way that you can have technical checkboxes for every single piece of the puzzle that adds up to your high probability setup. So you can see here that if I clicked on this drop down, I have all sorts of different playbooks here. I have long and short momentum flips, I have long and short op zones, and I have long and short 3-step shifts. So basically, you can see here that I am just trading 3 setups, both on the long and short side. I keep things very simple, but I know that it is immensely important to have different plays in the playbook for different market scenarios. That is one thing that many traders, especially starting out, do not understand. Many traders don't understand that there is truly no one-size-fits-all strategy. You cannot, for example, have one strategy that works in a trending environment and a ranging environment and expect that to be consistent. It is much higher probability for you to find success by having multiple strategies for varying market conditions. So what we are going to go over today is a long opportunity zone strategy, which is my long trending strategy or my uptrending strategy. I'm going to show you guys the clear technical factors that were broken down in this trade that allowed me to have the confidence to not only start with 6 contracts on NQ, but add another 6 because I had all of my technical factors lined up in my favor. So without any further ado, let's dive in here to this trade setup, and I will start breaking down to you guys these technical checkboxes and how I am doing this with TradeZella every single day. Let's do it. Okay, so very briefly here, I just want to give you guys a little bit of context for this trade. So this was, again, last Friday, and the entire week last week, we've basically been in a ranging market environment. So for basically the entire session, about 4 hours of price action, price is moving down towards this bottom of an overall range that we were establishing last week. Now, I saw that price came down, put in lows for the day, and started to change behavior by putting in consecutive higher highs and higher lows. That is the first signal, especially after seeing bullish divergence, that the market behavior is changing. So for me, that tells me, and you can see this here is the 377 tick chart, okay? And this here is the 987 tick chart. And I use the 987 tick chart for confluence. It gives me context and overall market environment. And the 377 tick chart on the left here is my trigger chart. So I'm always entering on the 377 tick chart. And what I saw here was indeed that change in behavior. Back here, we put in bullish divergence. We started to make higher lows and, generally speaking, higher highs as well. So that told me that buyers were taking control and it might be time for a long opportunity zone play, as the opportunity zone had been acting as support previously. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll through this video and show you guys the entry. And we are going to pull TradeZella back up and we will break down these entry criteria. And we will show you guys why this is a high probability setup. So you can see here that I enter for 6 contracts here on NQ. The oscillators are not perfect, but I have a lot of other things in my favor. We are breaking and retesting this prior swing high now as support. I have Fibonacci pivot S2. I have the overnight high from May 8th acting as protection for my stop loss. In addition to that, I also have the bottom of the opportunity zone, which is the 50 exponential moving average, also acting as protection for my stop loss. So you can see that I'm in at 359, my stop loss is at 346, and my target is all the way up here at 382. So this is great risk to reward. It is over a 1-to-1, and that is at the very least what I am looking for. I am an intraday scalper, so typically my trade time is very, very quick. I'm typically in trades, 1 to 5 minutes. On average, sometimes longer, and a lot of times even shorter. So with that said, let's go ahead and pull up Zella and let's start breaking down some of these factors here. So you can see here that we have a trending market, right? We have price making higher highs, higher lows, and that is exactly what I want to see when I take advantage or look for an opportunity zone trade. Now, in order to take a long op zone, we need the 21 above the 50 EMA, right? So that's a check right there. We need a local low for my entry criteria, which is a bullish candlestick closing above the top of the prior bar. So if you see this right here, we have this long signal bar closing above the top of this previous bar inside of the opportunity zone. That is my local low, which gets us our second checkbox. And you could consider that this trending market box is also checked, and that is the first and only market condition checkbox that I use for the opportunity zone. And it is also an entry criteria checkbox, as I like to be more. Now, not only do I have the trending market checkbox under the market conditions, but I also have it under the entry criteria, because context is truly everything as a trader. We can have an amazing trending strategy, but if we don't understand that it's not time to use it, again, we need to be in the proper game environment to use our proper playbook play, okay? So that is why I drive home the idea of the trending market, not only once in the market conditions category, but also in the entry criteria, because context is so key. So with that said, we've got the trending market, we've got the 21 right above the 50, the yellow EMA above the green. We have a local low, which is the candlestick structure, this bar closing above the top of this prior bar right there. We also have oscillator structure, again, not perfect, but you can see the fast and the slow oscillators starting to curl and cross to the upside, supporting the direction of this trade idea. Now, we also have volatility confluence. Now, this indicator down here is the BBWP. It is the Bollinger Band Width Percentile, and it measures the distance between the Bollinger Bands. So basically, this is telling me when the BBWP is very low, volatility is contracted. Price is like a rubber band. So when price is contracted, it is very likely to expand. And when price is already expanded, it is very likely to contract. And it rinse and repeats this process over and over again. So we have a very low read on the BBWP, telling me that there's very likely to be an expansion in volatility. When I put all of these factors together, I say, okay, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We have a local low in the opportunity zone. I have major market profile and Fibonacci levels in my favor. This is very likely telling me that the expansion in volatility is going to be to the upside. And last but not least, I also have a delta confluence checkbox. Now you can see my delta indicator down here is showing me the difference in net buyers and sellers on any given bar. And this histogram is showing me that in a way that tells me who is in control or where the control is shifting. And in this particular example, you can see we went from very slight negative delta to back positive delta. Once again, just one further piece of confluence supporting the idea that buyers are indeed in control. And we have all of these levels here, which is a great zone of liquidity for price to work through and eventually push up through into my take profit. So once again, just to go through these technical factors on TradeZella, we have a trending market. Price is making higher highs and higher lows after bouncing off of the bottom of a very clear support area. We have the 21 above the 50. We have a local low. We have oscillator structure in our favor, momentum oscillator structure showing that price is showing momentum to the upside. We also have volatility confluence in the form of BBWP, and we have delta confluence with our delta histogram down here. Now, what you guys will see very, very shortly is how I also have exit criteria. So I'm going to continue to fast forward this trade, and you'll see how I am writing some notes on the chart here. And it's interesting because this is not a trade that worked out super quickly. I sat on this trade for 5 or 6 minutes, and a lot of you guys might think, hey, that's a pretty fast trade. But when you have 6 contracts on the line, when you see price basically put in a quick resistance, 15 points under your take profit, a lot of things can go through your mind. So what I do, and what you guys will see me do in this video, is I am basically typing out what I am thinking. So I am planning to add to this trade above the range high. The trade is working in my favor. Yes, price is stalling a little bit above the range high from May 5th, but I know, because I've seen this setup work so many times, that if price continues to push up, there are or were stop losses from people short right here. And that is what this reaction is right here. People that are short right here getting their stop losses run. And that is what is going to continue to happen. And that is why I am adding above this range high, because I will show you guys here, if I just hide Zella real quick, look at how we have acted or used this initial balance low from the 11th at 372 as resistance basically the entire day, right? So a lot of stop losses are going to be built up above this area. And my thought is, if price is going to push above that area, it's going to run all of those stops and propel price further into my take profit front running Fibonacci pivot S1 right around 382. So let's click play one more time. I will fast forward just a bit. You guys will see me add to this trade or get filled on my additional 6 contracts. You see how I write here deep breaths, because this is not easy to sit through if you have not experienced this in a substantial amount of times. You have to understand that price needs to breathe. If you take a good trade where price is working in your favor, that doesn't mean it's going to go straight to your take profit, and it might not go to your take profit every trade. So what I do is I try to remind myself that the trade is still valid. You can see I have here, patience pays, the trade's still valid, and it's very true. We have to be patient. We have to breathe through our setups. We have to remind ourselves that price is working in our favor, but it has to take its time. So I have Zella pulled back up here as I want to show you guys the exit criteria. I'm going to fast forward. Boom, you can see I get filled on an extra 6 contracts. So I am long for 12 contracts on NQ. You can see here that my average entry moves to 366 and price continues to propel towards my take profit. Now, one of my contingency plans when I'm in a trade like this, especially when I'm adding to a trade, is to take profit on a local top if I see a local top get printed around or close to my take profit. So for those of you guys not familiar, a local top is the exact opposite of a local low. It is when you have a bearish candlestick right here close below the low of the prior bar. So once again, this bearish bar closes below the low of the prior bar, signifying a local top, and that is exactly when I take half profit. So you can see here, very, very shortly, I will take 6 contracts, and then I will start to trail the remaining 6 contracts. So basically, the remainder of this trade is going to be managed very, very closely. If we were to close another bar below the low of this bar, then I would close the trade. But in this case, price continues to propel and hit that 382 target that I had the entire time. Now, this trade took an immense amount of patience, and you can see here that on my exit criteria, I exited 50% on the local top, and I exited the other 50% around a major level. I always front run major levels. I'll never put my target right at a level, because price is very likely to either front run a level or move past it. And I would always prefer to get taken out with my take profit front running the level. So you can also see, just in closing for the 3rd exit criteria checkbox, that this was also a very important area of liquidity and could be considered also a prior swing high or several swing highs and swing lows, creating this liquidity zone, which also was Fibonacci pivot S1. So this is a very, very good way to quantify your trade setups and get very picky about taking high probability trades. I know that if I wait for a setup where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes checked in my favor for my entry criteria, that trade setup is an A+, and it is the highest probability trade in this environment using this playbook play. So I would highly recommend you guys to use TradeZella or something very similar. I will say TradeZella makes it so easy for you. If you're using NinjaTrader, all you have to do is simply export your executions tab from your trade performance window, drag and drop it into Zella, and then you can go about creating your playbooks. And once again, I don't have a ton of different setups. I'm basically just trading 3 playbook plays a momentum flip for ranging environments, an opportunity zone for trending environments, and a 3-step shift for a reversal trade. And these are the 3 setups that I teach in my Fundamentals of Futures Trading course. And I think it's important for you guys to see that trading is not rocket science. This stuff is not complicated, but it is important to treat it like a job and quantify your setups and have standard operating procedures. TradeZella makes it so easy to follow your SOPs, to follow your standard operating procedures, to organize all of your data in a way that truly allows you to grow and get 1% better each and every day if you put the time in, if you put the work in to creating these playbooks or learning our systems and using our playbooks, and furthermore, journaling every single day and taking the time, even on bad days, to journal your trades, especially on bad days, to journal your trades, to see if you tried to take an Opp Zone trade, but it only had 2 boxes checked. Well, there's good data that shows when you take an Opp Zone and you only have 2 boxes checked versus when you take an Opp Zone and you have 6 boxes checked, that is a big difference. And that is data that supports your trading, that shows you what you can do to grow and get better in your journey. So with all of that said, I won't take up much more of your guys' time, but I just wanted to, once again, present this in a way that shows you guys how simple it truly can be. Create playbooks or learn our strategies and copy my playbooks and just get inherently familiar with how you check the boxes on a daily basis. And that, my friends, is how you will truly gain consistency over the long term in the markets. This is such a powerful tool. You guys can go down here and make journal entries. You can do trading psychology stuff in the specific trade data entries as well. So I will do some trading psychology breakdowns as far as how I am using Zella to improve my trading psychology, how I am working with my mentorship students on a daily basis utilizing TradeZella as well, so they can quantify not only their technicals but also their trading psychology checkboxes, if you will. So with that said, guys, I want to thank you first and foremost for taking the time to watch this content. If you do find this stuff valuable and you like to see me break down these playbook setups on TradeZella, please like, subscribe, and click that bell notification to be notified every single time we post videos here on the channel. If you guys want to learn more about these setups that I teach in the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, check out our website, thetradingnetwork.io, where you can purchase access to our most popular offering, the Trading Network Pro Trader Bundle, which includes lifetime access to the Fundamentals of Futures Trading course, where I teach all of the strategies I discussed today. It also includes lifetime access to our proprietary indicator package and access for life to our Discord, where we live stream our trading Monday through Friday starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. It is an amazing environment to cultivate consistency with a group of like-minded traders. And once again, you guys can purchase all of those products standalone on our website as well, in addition to one-on-one mentorship with me if you are looking for a more tailored and catered experience specifically to your strengths and weaknesses as a trader. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments below. You can also shoot us a DM on Instagram at the.trading.network, or you can email us at info@thetradingnetwork.io, and we will get back to you guys and help any way we possibly can. Thank you guys one more time for taking the time to watch this content. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.